Xbox stops production of current consoles, we see what next-generation box art looks like, and Microsoft kills Stadia. All that and more on Wumpa Time. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to episode 31 of Wumpa Time. Thank you guys so much for making us a part of your daily gaming news or weekly gaming news, and I'm joined with the one and only Canadian Guy.
Oh, it's me. I'm Canadian Guy.
Hello, and we're back, and we have some news. A lot of it's Xbox oriented. It's weird talking about Xbox so much, but let's go into the first quick news topic because you didn't know about this.
No, I didn't. I can't wait to hear about it. I'm excited.
All right, so Amazon does games now. Did you know? Probably not. So essentially what happened is Amazon owns a studio named Relentless, and they were making a free-to-play shooter called Crucible, and it was in closed beta for a while, and they launched it publicly, I think in like March or April. I can't remember, but it came out. Everyone hated it so much that it went back into beta.
It closed.
It was just like, here it is, never mind. So this was like a hero shooter / battle royale / League of Legends / Paladins.
Oh, no.
Like it was all kinds of stuff, and it had its own identity. Like it looked cool. The animations are nice. The models are nice. It looked neat. It looked like your generic hero shooter, but I didn't see what happened with it. Apparently, it was just so bare bones that they were like, just take it back.
It's just, well, I mean, you're going to see hiccups and stuff like that coming from new studios, but especially coming from Amazon, which honestly, Amazon's been having hit after hit with their business stuff, like when it comes to Amazon buying out Twitch and expanding. I mean, Amazon is kind of like the star example of success in terms of a business, right? And for a game to come out, like it's just awkward from Amazon for because then you got Amazon Prime, you got the Amazon Prime Video, which is, I mean, my wife has it and she loves it, right? I mean, you got all these hit after hit after hit, and then all of a sudden they release a bomb, and it's like almost industry changing bomb that like we've never seen before, where the game is so bad they're like, yeah, we're gonna put this back in the beta. And we're gonna do some revisions, and you just see them just scraping it in the trash.
It's just like, hey, we finished up on the bug testing. Yeah, we're ready to ship. All right, cool. Actually, can we unship? What do you mean unship? Can we take it back?
Can we not just? But the way that you were saying it, it sounds like it had its own identity, but it had too many chefs in the kitchen by trying to follow current trends. And
yeah, and like I'm reading up on it, and it says that last month Relentless ditched the game's more peripheral battle royale and team deathmatch modes to focus solely on the game's MOBA-inspired Heart of the Hives mode. So they had like 4 different games, and they were just like, no, we'll just focus on the League mode essentially.
Well, wow. All right. So basically what they had a whole bunch of different modes, and they were like, yeah, maybe this was intentional. Maybe they didn't know what to do with it. So they're like, all right, let's throw like 4 game modes into it. Maybe Amazon's pulling 4D chess here, where they literally could not figure out what to do and what to work with and what people would want, so they created.
Well, that's why we have beta. Like, you don't need to launch the product to get feedback for the product.
Yes, I don't know. Like, I don't know where they sent the game back to beta. I mean, what was this game, like a launch? Like, it wasn't like.
No, like it launched. Like it was free to play, and it wasn't like, oh, an early access. No, this was the game.
Oh, that makes it significantly worse. So it launched, marketing and everything, and then okay, wow, never mind. I take back what I said about Amazon releasing duds. I'm like, well, you go to public beta and that doesn't work out, so you just rewind a little bit. No, the game came out, and oh gosh.
Oh no.
So, okay, so yeah, no, I take back what I said. Amazon, what are you doing?
Please stop.
What, I've never heard of that, where a game fully launched and then got sent back to beta. I've heard of games getting resurfaced and rebuilt from the ground up. But just take it down. Just whatever. We'll do it again. This sounds like the ultimate development hell. speaking of development hell,
Oh
the
yes.
segue into the fact that the Uncharted movie has started filming.
Finally, after like what, 13 years?
Oh gosh, I heard about it.
It's been over a decade.
Dude, to think about this, going back, I heard about this about this Uncharted movie when I heard about it when I was in high school.
Dude, me too. And the thing is, I have the list right here. It has gone through 6 different directors. That's 6 different people who were like,
gosh.
"Yeah, I got this." Well, actually,
Yeah,
and the director they landed on was Ruben Flesher, I think his name is. I hope I'm pronouncing that right.
Okay.
And he did Zombieland and Venom.
yeah, I thought I heard of his name before. I was like, that sounds familiar. So I still stand by the fact that Venom was ruined by the producers because it was hacked to crap. I think there was like,
Oh yeah.
like in terms of editing and pacing and stuff like that, because I was watching, I was like, okay, it's actually half decent, but then like the pacing was all over the place. And from what I heard, the producers walked in and just hacked out like half an hour, and you
And they're
can't
just like, yeah, that's good.
you can't just rip out a half an hour from a film like that. You just can't. So I am optimistically excited because we got Tom Holland, right? Tom Holland's playing as Nathan Drake. Now, at first, I was not for it.
So the thing is, Tom is the one that actually announced it.
Yeah.
He announced it on his Instagram saying day 1 #Uncharted with a picture that says Nate. And he is playing young Nate.
Yes.
That's what they've specified. Now, the thing is, Nolan North, who is the voice actor for Nathan Drake in all the Uncharted games, he when Tom Holland announced this, he said, "Hey, Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg, have a blast, sic parvis magna." So, I personally really hope Mark Wahlberg is not playing regular Nate.
I don't think so, but I think I might be able to make it slightly worse for you.
Oh, please don't.
From what I heard, he's playing Sully.
No, that is way worse.
Dude, like, first off,
we don't need him at all.
yeah, first off, older Nathan Drake, Nathan Fillion. There's literally no one else.
There's literally no one else.
No, like
we had the fan film. It was perfect.
yeah, it's literally Nathan Fillion. Like, you can't convince me. There is not a soul on this earth that can convince me that Nathan Drake was not based off of Nathan Fillion. There is no way. There's no way.
There's no way. Like the fan film was so perfect, and the thing is, it's not even Nathan Fillion. I'm looking at like their supporting cast. Like the rumor before was Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg, and that can turn out to be true. From that same rumor, it looks like other actors like Antonio Banderas is in this movie. And it's interesting. I didn't know this, but on Jimmy Kimmel, Tom Holland also said that they had already filmed once before. He said we were all ready to go and we went to set for day 1 of shooting, and then we got shut down and we were all sent home.
Was that due to COVID?
No, I think this was like a year or 2 ago, because he was on board for the project like for a while.
Yeah,
but,
I mean,
like, I can't imagine like what happened. Like, the thing is, Sony said that shooting hasn't started yet, but they're expecting to shoot soon. So
yeah.
What happened last time where Sony was like, nah, just everyone go home?
Well, honestly, when it comes to film sets and being on a few myself and dealing with that stuff, it could literally come down to three things. It can be a logistical error where something went wrong drastically somewhere that caused a chain reaction that caused the filming to come to a halt. It could have been whatever. Second thing is it could have been money. It literally could have been money where something happened, something didn't go through, and they stop. And then the third thing, which is a big thing that happens, is the big E word, egos. So
Ah.
you get bashing of egos, and what will happen is you get a producer and a director that don't get along, and you'll have a producer that has money set, because the whole point of the producer is that they're the one who's spending the money. The director says, hey, I want to have 14 planes in the sky dropping 300 men. And the producer turns around and goes, no, you get 4 planes dropping 20. Right? Like, if that, like,
okay.
And that's what the producer does. That's the whole point of the producer, because they're like, we can't afford that. A producer will have money set aside to be petty and be like, okay, you're not going to listen to what I'm going to say? Okay, cut everyone for the day and everyone go home. And that's it.
Okay,
done. Bye. That's it. Done. And they still get paid, but the producer set the money aside just to turn to the director and say, ha. Right? Like,
yeah.
When it comes to film, man, there's so many egos that get involved in films. It's ridiculous. It's actually stupid. It is so pathetic.
Yeah.
I've heard some horror stories of working with some actors too, stopping the whole production, like one actor stopping everything. I've heard of meltdowns on set that would cause thousands of dollars of damage, and they would have to reset. Like, I heard a story about Sylvester Stallone, apparently, that he lost his mind on set at one point, and they had to delay shooting for days because it was a scene outside. He lost his mind. It was supposed to be a sunny day. The next day it rained, so they couldn't shoot that scene. The day after, it rained again. The day after, Sylvester still was angry, and then it rained after that, and then like 4 days later he finally was like, okay, let's shoot it. And oh my gosh, it was like, man, just because of egos.
Ew, that gross.
Yeah.
And one other thing I'd like to add before we move on is that this is also kind of hopeful that I'm reading right now that in February, Tom Holland said that the movie is going to be an origin story of the games, and the script was, quote, one of the best he's ever read.
Well, that's good.
That's good, and if all goes planned, we should see it around July 2021. Now, I think the only 2 video game movies that would be quote unquote good would be Sonic and Detective Pikachu.
Yeah.
If this is as good as he is saying, this will be the very first commercially, not commercially, critically successful video game movie.
Yeah.
Sonic was kind of pushing it.
Yeah. Sonic 2 has been confirmed, thank goodness.
Yeah.
Detective Pikachu 2 was confirmed before it even was released. Legendary Pictures loved it. They loved Detective Pikachu. They're like, no, this is gonna sell. I feel like we're starting to get to a point now where we're refining the video game movies, and we're starting to figure out what works for a video game movie and what doesn't.
Yeah.
Right. And for example, we like I said, we have The Witcher, which was a Netflix series, right? And I still think that is the best way to present a video game film or a video game story in terms of movies is Netflix. Netflix or direct a movie or whatever. I think that's the best way because you get longer time with the characters, just like in gaming, you get a longer time with the characters. I could see Ghost of Tsushima be a Netflix series, no problem. Easy.
Yeah, and I think formats like Sonic and Uncharted, where it's not the game, it's based on the game, but it's its own story. I think that's also, if you're going to turn it into a movie, that's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
Instead of cramming the whole game into a movie, i.e. Ratchet and Clank. Like, I think the pacing in Ratchet and Clank was worse than the Warcraft movie because the main complaint with Warcraft is like, you're not in the same place every like 2 minutes. Ratchet and Clank, you're not in the same place every 2 seconds. Like every time you blink, there's a new scene.
Yeah. I didn't see the Ratchet and Clank movie. I heard a lot of bad things about it. I heard a lot of people like, wow.
I got like a 23 on Metacritic.
Yeah. And the thing is with Warcraft too is that like I was able to keep up with Warcraft because I knew all the backstory. So I already knew everything. I was like, oh yeah, I know where this is. This is such and such, and that's Khadgar, and that's he will eventually become this, and he does this, and he does that, and I know the characters, so I already know when they do a slight subtle reference, I already know what they're referring to. But I can also see in a general film point of view that like, hey, this doesn't make sense. But yeah, like you were saying, what I was thinking would have been really cool for Sully. I'm trying to remember the actor's name. I can't remember the actor's name. Dang it, I just lost it. But I just hope it's not Mark Wahlberg. I hope Mark Wahlberg is not Sully, because
from what I'm saying, it looks like it's going to be, because apparently, like, originally Mark Wahlberg was casted to play Drake, and then they moved him to do Sully. Like, listen, everyone has their favorite actors. Mark Wahlberg, like, as a person, no thank you. I mean, he's a fine enough actor. I just don't like. I personally wouldn't want to see Mark Wahlberg in an Uncharted movie.
It doesn't make sense to me. It
No.
really, really does not make sense to me. And I feel like that's a celebrity that they're trying to use the name off of to really push. It just no. But and you know what was really bad? Was the newest Tomb Raider movie. Where they tried basing
I didn't
it off
see
the game.
that one.
Oh, it's bad. It's so bad. It's so bad. Like people were complaining about it at one point beforehand because they're like, oh, her boobs are too small, and I'm like, really? That's your complaint?
Is that what you're complaining about?
That's what you're complaining about? And then I sat down and I watched it. I'm like, I'm not complaining about the size of her breasts. I'm complaining about the size of the plot holes in this movie, because like literally what and this is I think what the problem was with video game movies. I know we're talking about this a lot. We'll move on after this, but is that they go half to the story of the game and then half not to the story, or part.
Yeah, just pick one.
Yeah. They put their hand too much. They're like, okay, the director has their vision, but there's the game source material, so let's just smash that together to kind of come up with this amalgamous blob that just doesn't work.
For someone who hasn't seen the movie, again, last thing, but for someone who hasn't seen the movie, I'm wondering if the plot of the movie would be better, or writing would be better than what I played, because I played Rise of the Tomb Raider for the first time, and oh my god, I've never.
That's the second one, right?
Yeah, that's the second one, but I've never witnessed a more flat, linear, bare bones plot from a AAA multi-million-dollar game than I have with Rise of the Tomb Raider. Every Every motivation for every action that Laura does is like, Laura, why do you want to do this? It's so dangerous. My dad. Okay.
Yeah. So,
like, is there any other motivation? My dad.
So funny you say that. Well, so the first game was kind of like that, but it was a lot more like it was really cool because the first game was like the first time that she like kills somebody, and you see that, like, you literally see that scene where like the guy's crawling all over and she's trying to get him off, and he's ripping at her clothes, and finally she pulls a gun, and it's the first time she's ever killed someone, and kills him. And you see her, she like falls down on her knees, she's like shaking, and like the screen is like shifting, and she's like throwing up, and she's just like freaking out. And it's really cool to see that. Like, you can see like that moment of like, she's never killed anybody before, and now she has.
Yeah, because I played the first game and I was like, this is fine.
Yeah.
This
I
is
enjoyed
fine.
it. I enjoyed the first Tomb Raider. That was what they were basing the movie off of, and it was so bad because at one point, and I was just like, wow, this is so dumb. So, you know how like the whole motivation, my dad is dead. I need to finish his work, right? In the movie, in the Tomb Raider movie, spoiler alert, I mean, the movie's been out now for like 3 years, so if you haven't seen it yet, sorry.
Damn.
She finds her dad as like in a band on the island that she's on, as like this, as literally as this abandoned a hermit on the island, all like his hair is outgrown and stuff. He's got like crap in his beard, and he's like, "Oh, Laura, you found my maps, and I have to stay here because reasons." And then she's like, "Okay, I'm leaving, but I'm gonna continue your legacy." And I was sitting there, I'm like, the whole point, her whole point in Drive was the fact that her dad was dead, and now he's alive in the movie.
I'm alive. Okay, bye.
It wasn't even like a plot twist. It just happened midway through the movie, and I was just like, all right, All right, cool.
Okay, cool. Thanks, I guess.
Thanks. We didn't need this.
Speaking of something we probably don't need. Whoa!
Segue.
Sick. So Warner Brothers, you like them? I guess. So it's essentially what's happening is something I was not expecting, because this is a big company. Microsoft is in talks to acquire Warner Brother Games, like the game publisher that's from Warner Brothers.
That's a big
like
one.
the Warner Brothers, and if that happens, that means that Microsoft has technically the rights to all of the Warner Brothers IPs in terms of video games specifically. That means Batman, Harry Potter, almost every Lego game.
Yep.
And believe it or not, most new Disney games, because Cars 3 was published by Warner Brothers, which is very weird to see. But so with Microsoft's track record, when they buy a company, they don't usually make them do exclusive stuff for Xbox, like you say, or like you've seen. Minecraft is on everything. Every single console known to man. And on the back of like the PS4 version, it'll say Xbox Game Studios. And it feels kind of sacrilegious to see that, but it's there. And they've also bought Double Fine Productions, who does Psychonauts. And when they bought them, everyone was like, oh no, Psychonauts 2 is going to be Xbox exclusive now. And Microsoft said, nope, it's going to be on everything. And we were like, okay.
So, two things. I think what they do is that, I mean, Psychonauts 2 has been in development for a while. So they probably were like, hey, we were planning on a multi-console release. And they're like, yeah, that's fine. It's possible, though, that they might like eventually turn them into straight exclusivity. Or it could be literally Xbox bowing out of the console race and just defaulting to a development, to just a development studio.
That seems like what they're doing now, even though they're still making consoles. And we'll get into that in a second. Yeah. But it's... I understand them wanting to do more games as a service, but Xbox isn't really known as the games company. They're known as the console company. So it's like, oh, that's an Xbox game. Oh, you mean it's for the Xbox? No, it's by Xbox, but it's for PS4. So you can play Xbox games on the PS4? No. You can play games published by Xbox on the PS4. So why do I need an Xbox? I don't know.
You don't.
I don't know, man.
I don't know, man. And yeah, the thing is that, but if they were to buy Warner Brother Games, when they also hold access to, like, and I know this is kind of going a little bit far back because I do remember it, but I remember it was popular at one point. Do they own the rights to the Looney Tunes games?
Yeah, because Looney Tunes is Warner Brothers.
So if they wanted to, they have access to, like you said, Harry Potter, which that's huge. That would be huge if they started
Harry Potter and then all DC stuff, basically.
Yeah, as well. Yeah. So I mean, there is a lot of, if they buy Warner Brother Games, Microsoft does, they get access to licenses that are huge. That like, for example, if they released a full-on AAA, I mean, we already hear in the works that they're releasing a Harry Potter MMO. But if they release a full AAA story-based Harry Potter game, that's huge. That would bring in so many casual gamers to buy an Xbox, because there are diehard Harry Potter fans.
Oh yeah,
that are just like, it's like every fan base has their diehards. Every single fan base. But Harry Potter's fan base of diehards is disgustingly huge. It's gross how like, it's like, man, when you can here, I can summarize this real quick before we move on. If you have your own theme park, you made it.
Yeah, that's it. That's all you need.
If you have your own section in a theme park, the Diagon Alley, okay, and you have all the different things, and you have an entire area, a world built around in real life, and there's even like if I remember correctly too, there's even in England, they have like a full like 4-day resort of just Harry Potter theme. That's it. And that's it. you sleep basically in a a small castle that looks like Hogwarts, but not quite, but everything's themed around it. You wake up and you go to classes, and in those classes, it's like you do some cool stuff, and it's all themed around Harry Potter. When you have that, okay, you have access to a fan base that's disgustingly huge. And if Microsoft buys WB Games and they say, hey, make a story-based Harry Potter game, have at it, do as you please, go for it. Or heck, go follow the Fable route and go like a moral-based, create your own character, create your own wizard style of game.
Endings. Who do you align with at the very end?
Yeah, sure. So and then you choose your class, and each Ravenclaw, Hufflepuff, Gryffindor, and Slytherin, and then each one has certain traits that benefit and negative traits that don't, and then you can build from there, and each one has a different line of quests. You build relationships and become enemies with certain people. Blah 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 blah. The whole point is that like. The whole idea is that would be huge, and if Microsoft jumps on that, that could potentially, for exclusives, really be able to go now toe-to-toe with PlayStation. Because right now, in terms of exclusive numbers of IPs that they have announced and what they have right now, they're doing squat with it.
Yeah.
But the fact is that but if they get this, they get enough licensing to be able to create, I mean, look at Spider-Man for the PlayStation 4. Look how well that's doing. That's doing absolutely bonkers. It's doing great in terms of critic, sales, whatever you want to put it, however you want to peg it. Spider-Man PS4 is arguably the best Spider-Man game to have ever come out. And
now the thing is, it's not just Microsoft. I think that like the total being thrown around is around $4 billion. Oh yeah, and the thing is, so if they buy Warner Brothers Interactive, that means that they own whoever buys it would own the like all of the development studios that Warner Brothers owns. Like for example, Rocksteady,
that's
Batman, NetherRealm, Mortal Kombat.
Oh, that's huge.
The Warner Brother Games Montreal, like Middle Earth, Shadow of War, Shadow of Mordor, and all that stuff. Monolith Productions, who did Middle Earth, and then Fifth Cell, who did all the Scribblenauts games. And I think those are also under Warner Brothers, like Scribblenauts and Mortal Kombat and all that stuff. So you'd get those. But the thing is, Microsoft is going up against Take-Two Interactive, EA, and get this last one, Activision Blizzard.
Really? Acti wants to buy them.
Activision Blizzard, Warner Brothers. How many companies can we put at the end of this title?
Let me tell you something. If Activision steps in and buys WB Games, actually, you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. I don't want them to.
I don't either, dude. That's too close to a monopoly. That's like almost Disney level with all that's pretty close with all of the development studios that you would own and all the IPs. That
would make Activision. And the thing is that, am I saying that if they get it, it's going to be poor quality games? Absolutely not. No. I mean, Call of Duty comes out, it's always good and polished. It's always plays sharp. It's always really good. I mean, the worst Call of Duty I've ever seen in scores was like a 75. When that's your worst game.
Well, my thing is like, if Activision gets Warner Brothers, we'll start seeing certain games get the Activision treatment, where it's like, oh look, a new Scribblenauts game, and here's the Scribblenauts Battle Pass for January.
Yeah.
What do you mean Battle Pass?
Battle Pass, yeah. But the big thing is that if Activision were to buy that, you would have Blizzard, Activision and Blizzard, which Blizzard was at one point a titan, still a titan, but not as big as a titan, but was a titan in the industry when it came to World of Warcraft. Oh my gosh. Warcraft in itself, an absolute titan. Now you got Overwatch, which is the one of the number one esports right? I mean, you got all these titles and stuff like that. StarCraft has been number one.
StarCraft is still
Still
massively huge in like
massive.
what, Korea? I think
Yeah.
South Korea.
Korea.
Yeah.
Korea, it is like it's an esport in Korea specifically. Like in like if you say, hey, I want to be a pro, like literally you could be a kid in school saying, hey, I want to be a pro StarCraft player, and they're like, okay, yeah, legitimately, yeah, cool. That's not like
Yeah, we
something
have a
that,
college class for that.
yeah, legitimately, like that is huge. So, and then you got Activision, which releases one of the highest grossing and profited games of all time, Call of Duty, and now Crash and Spyro, which were coming back and getting really good numbers. If they bought WB, that would be crazy. And I also don't want EA to touch it either. I don't want Take-Two to touch it either. Frig.
Oh, God, no. Imagine Scribblenauts with a casino
Yeah.
update.
Well, what was the other one? So EA, no. Take-Two, no. Activision for the sake of monopoly, no. And what was the other one? Or was that it?
Where did it go? It was Take-Two, EA, and Activision up against Microsoft.
Give it to Microsoft, please.
Yeah, I mean, they need anything at this point.
At this point, give it to Microsoft. That's who I vote for. If it doesn't go to Microsoft, I sigh and say give it to Activision, because Activision's better than Take-Two and EA. Like,
yeah, let's just leave it at that.
yeah, just there. It's like you win by default. By default. Speaking of default, which weren't a terrible segue. So we had a question come in, or not necessarily a question, but more of a subject sent in by a very, very, very big person within the Wumpa Time community, who timestamps all of our Wumpa Times in the comment section and then allows us to pin it so that you guys can see it, which we thank him very much. But
Thank you.
CT Artisan sent to us, and I think it's interesting. Metacritic put a pause on user reviews for specifically Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah, so this is going to be Metacritic's thing going forward.
Mm-hmm.
Every new game, movie, album, anything, mainly game. I think it's game. I'm sorry, mainly game. So every new game coming out, it's going to have the same treatment where you look at the, like, day one, you look at the critic score. It's like, oh, Ghost of Tsushima has like, what, an 86, 87?
It was
like
84.
84. So you see there, and you look at the user reviews, and it's grayed out, and all it says is in a little gray box, it says, please play the game and come back later. Now, I think this is long overdue.
Yeah.
This is something that they needed from like day one.
Yeah. So the big thing though is that I think we can assume that this feature was brought in because of what happened with The Last of Us Part 2.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah. So you and I, my review is going to be coming out eventually soon for The Last of Us Part 2. I have it recorded and sent. We're just waiting to get that put together. But we have our thoughts about it. And do we think it's a 0 out of 10 game? Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
No. Because objectively, it's impossible to say that it's a 0. Objectively, it's impossible. And you look at it, and it's like, okay, could you say it's a 6 out of 10? Sure. 5 out of 10? Yeah, but that's probably like the minimum. 5. You can't really go much lower than that in terms of graphics and stuff like that. But people on day one were just review bombing it. 0 out of 10, 0 out of 10, 0 out of 10. Whether it came from Xbox users, or Xbox people that were attacking. I'm not going to say Xbox users in general. I'm going to say Xbox users that were attacking Sony games, because that happens as well.
Yeah.
And likewise, Sony attacks Xbox games as well. And then it came from where the leaks of the game came, and of course events that happened that made people upset in The Last of Us Part 2, that people went and just voted as 0. And it just review bombed the game, where it was like, oh yeah, Metacritic score is a 94, and then user score is like a 0.3.
Yeah, that's what I need. Like, oh, is this game good? Yeah, no, well.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if you look at The Last of Us 2, it says it has like 129,000 user reviews. And a good fare of that is review bombing. But that it also does get a message out, but I don't think that's productive. I don't think that's a good way of showing your message. You could just voice it and let that be that.
Yeah.
Sometimes they go unnoticed. Most time they go unnoticed, but that's fine. Like that's usually how it goes.
Yeah.
And that's really all with that. Like I honestly think this is good. This is very good. Because the people who want to review bomb it so bad are probably going to forget about it by the time that you can actually review it.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's perfect all around.
Yeah, that does. It will help. There's still going to be review bombs, of course. And the big thing is that when you have review bombs that big too, it reinforces people to not want to listen to criticism because they just think you're reviewing bombing it when you actually have criticism for it, right? And that is a big problem because they just reinforce because they see the unbridled hate. So I think it's a very good and useful thing that they're adding to the game, to reviewing. And I think that it's really good for them to discontinue day one reviews on terms of the user score. And speaking of discontinuing, Shemp, do you want to lead us into our first piece of main news of the day?
Oh boy, do I. Stupidity of this. So, Xbox, we just talked about them. You know, we said give them this one because they're going to need it. Because Xbox has decided to officially discontinue the Xbox Series X and the Xbox One SAD.
No, the Xbox One X, not the Series X. The One X.
Sorry, the One X. Sorry, these names are stupid.
Yeah, they are.
The Xbox One X and the Xbox One SAD, which is the all-digital model. And this is because they want to focus on next gen. Now, my thing is, if you want to focus on next gen, then why aren't there any next-gen games for the first year of the next-gen console? Your priorities seem to be all over the place.
You know what? Now that you mentioned that, you are 100% right that for the first year, there's not even going to be any games that are exclusive to just Xbox Series X. It's going to be a cross-generation between the One and the Series X. The fact that I'm not shocked about the Xbox SAD being discontinued. I'm not shocked. We were making fun of it from day one.
It that.
We were making.
We're actually just calling it Xbox One SAD.
Yeah, the Xbox One SAD. That like we were just making fun of it from day one. It was a joke. It was something that we were laughing about. We said it probably isn't going to sell. And I don't think it sold well overall. It was so dumb to go. What was like 20? It was $25 or $50 cheaper, to remove the disc. And
I think it was. Yeah, I think you're right.
And it wasn't even a bigger hard drive. It was still a 1 terabyte. It was so for them to turn around and say, "Yeah, we're going to discontinue the Xbox SAD." No problem. I would have been like, "Yeah, that makes sense." Where it doesn't make sense, where I'm at a loss of words.
You discontinue the one that everyone wants.
The One X.
Everyone wants a One X.
You're discontinuing the One X, but they're continuing the One S. But they have shut down production for the One X.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
I don't understand because here's the. Okay. I feel like I'm gonna vomit. All right. Okay. So all right. So there is a number of, I'm going to use the word cancerous problems with doing this. First things first, we're going to do something that's not the main issue, but definitely a side effect of it. The resale value now of the One X, the amount of scalping that's going to happen now for the One X is going to be insane. Because when the next generation of consoles come out, and people don't want to spend the amount of money on however much the Series X is, but they have the versions come out, the games that come out for the original one. If you want to play that game in 4K and better graphics, you have to find a One X that you can't even buy anymore on public shelves.
Yep.
You now have to go and find one on eBay or one that's just been sitting in stock and collecting dust. You need to go find that now in order to get it, to be able to play these games in 4K, but not on a Series X. You see, what would have been intelligent is slashing the cost of the One X and removing the SAD and the S and saying you can only buy the One X now.
Yeah. Push the powerful console to lead into the more powerful console to
Yes.
be like, hey, check this out.
Exactly.
You thought you had the most powerful one. Bam, more powerful. But maybe this is because it's not that much more powerful than the One X. Maybe seeing the One X and the Series S together, so similar on like spec wise, maybe that's gonna make them look bad.
Right, but then why release the One X to begin with? Why? Do you see
why? Yeah,
do you see PlayStation discontinuing the Pro?
I don't get the mid-generation upgrade. Just like, is it just a stepping stone for next generation? Because at that point, it's not that big of a jump.
Well, the point of the mid-generation was that apparently, from what I've heard, the mid-generation to a lot of tech analysts is what the consoles should have came out as, or specifically the Pro. They said the PlayStation 4 Pro should have been the launch console, and then stick with that for the rest. They said because the minor boost that they added in the Pro was enough to be able to consider that as like, okay, that's good, and the price difference was fine enough. The series
so it was mainly because of how underpowered this generation was.
Yes. I mean, look at the VCR one.
Oh, it couldn't even the
VCR one. It couldn't even hit 1080p. When we were hitting 1080p, we were hitting 4K by the time the one came out. The one in the PS4, we were hitting 4K. We were just at the start of 4K, right? Those consoles should have been able to hit 1440p, which is what the Pro and the Series X natively can do 4K. So that's great. The thing is for them to discontinue the Xbox One X, it feels like what you said, it is an artificial choking on the market where people might say, why would I buy the Series X when I could just go buy a One X? Because
yeah, exactly. Because like I said, the first year of the Series X being out, those games are going to be on the Xbox One.
Right.
So
exactly.
what's the point?
Right. So what's the point of buying a Series X right away? What's the point? There isn't a point. You can wait. That is perfectly fine in waiting. But
as you can see in our first quarter sales of the Xbox Series X, we didn't. Nothing. Not a one.
Nothing, because all the games that we are releasing are also coming out on the Xbox One. And you're right, the Xbox One X it's a powerful console. It's a powerful console.
It's powerful.
The fact is that they want to have people buy the One S so that they can, when they buy the One S and then they see the marginal difference between the One S and the Series X, it's wow, that's such a graphical leap. But then if you look at the One X, I can promise you, if you compare the One X to the Series X, you're going to be like, it's not the worst.
It's all right.
You're right. Because even now the games that are coming out are not utilizing the One X completely. And the reason why is because the game, like you said, was Cyberpunk. You've mentioned it multiple times. That Cyberpunk has been delayed multiple times and issues have happened because of the fact that it can't run on the VCR Xbox. But imagine turning around and saying, yeah, you don't need to make sure that the Slim or the VCR has to run it. It can run it. You can optimize it for the One X.
I didn't even think about that, dude. I didn't even think about how the first year of the Series X, those games are going to be held back because they have to work on the... Oh, no. That's bad. Now, that's real bad.
Right. So now there's a whole bunch of issues. And I was going to get to that. You jumped it. So perfect. Yeah, you're in the same mindset as me. So yeah, there's that problem too. It's possible that, and it's not just as, you just make the graphics less. No, again, if you have an NVMe drive or an SSD drive in your console, and then you have a hard drive, you have to be able to make sure that the processing and the AI runs just as equal as the hard drive as it does on the SSD. So will your games load faster? Yes, your games are going to load faster. You're going to have less pop-in? Yes, you're going to have less pop-in. Are you going to have better AI? No, you will not, because that AI needs to be able to be functional on a regular mechanical hard drive as it is on an SSD drive, because otherwise it doesn't work.
Yep. And like the new games that are announced, like Assassin's Creed Valhalla
Yep.
and Far Cry 6, how in the world are those going to run on the original Xbox One? I have no idea. They're going to have to pull a Nintendo and do like, oh, this only works on the new 3DS XL. This only works on the Xbox One S or
Plus.
/One X. They are ruining their image because they're making it so confusing, which we are about to get into, because I have a lot to say about that specifically.
Yeah. And one more thing. Now, someone mentioned on stream that there was a rumor that one of the reasons why, if this is true, it's still stupid, is that the reason why they're discontinuing the 1X or the SAD is because lack of sales. Duh. And the reason why they're discontinuing the 1X is because of the naming protocol, that people are going to be confused between the difference between the Xbox One X and the Xbox Series X. People are going to get confused between which is which, and so they're just going to eliminate the 1X completely and just go with the Series X so people know what's happening. If that is what's true, I don't think it is. I don't think. But if it is, why? Because when you released the 1X, you were developing Scarlet.
Yep.
When you released 1X. And if you turn around and you're like, maybe we shouldn't... It was your job to make the proper naming protocol. And you botched it.
Yeah.
Right?
You ruined it. Absolutely ruined it.
Absolutely ruined it. What was the problem? Like, everyone was saying, go with the project names. Call it literally Xbox Scorpio.
Yeah, dude, that would have made it unique.
Done.
Very, very unique.
And like I said, we came up with like a bunch of ideas too, like just call it the Xbox Scarlet. Or remember when we were talking about the next Xbox, which was called the Xbox Series X, where it was Project Anaconda. Just call it the Xbox Anaconda, and imagine the X being a coiled snake. Like the
that
X
would have been so cool.
Just call it coil, and each generation is like it's an animal or it's something, and it's based around that. A Scorpio, you could have it'd be based around a scorpion, right? You know you how Razer has their 3 snakes, right?
Yep.
You can go with the exact same idea where it's each, and then they call each of their products a different snake. You got the Mamba, and then their keyboards are different spiders, like the Black Widow, and they're reptilian snakes and these creepy crawly. That's their branding. Xbox could have turned around and just said Project Anaconda, Project Scorpio.
Yeah. Xbox Anaconda, like that sounds so cool.
Yep. It's like, man, oh man, it is so, hold on a second. It is so, incredible that they don't understand, how this works. This makes no sense that they can't get this naming protocol. So even if they are correct that this was a naming thing, stupid, dumb, silly, ridiculous, asinine, just, oh my gosh, that is so stupid that it would be that if it's because of the name. So if it's because that they don't want people buying the 1X or they want people to buy the Series X and they don't want them buying the 1X because if they realize that the 1X is powerful enough to be able to go toe to toe with the Series X, or it might be like, yeah, it could play any Xbox Series X game in 2K at 30 frames versus 4K 60 frames. Are you going to shell out another $700, $800 for me after tax? $600, $700 for another console to go up in resolution and frame rate for the same game? No, you're not. You won't.
Man.
Why would you?
You're passionate. I like it.
I am. Because it is so, and the reason why is that it comes down because it's anti-consumer. 100% anti-consumer,
which segues perfectly into the next topic.
Exactly.
So we have seen the it's weird because we're going to a lot of negatives with Xbox, but the last topic is pretty positive. But we got a look into the next generation box art for the Xbox and the PS5. Let's start with PS5 because I don't think we have a lot to say about that. Personally, we saw Spider-Man Miles Morales on the PS5 box art, and I personally don't like the direction. It's literally. Yeah. Okay, cool. It's like look at if you're in your room or something, or you're at a store, or you're doing whatever. Look at your shelf. Look at a PS4 game. It's that, but the blue is white, and the PS5 logo is black, and it looks very bizarre because they're still using the blue cases. That does not go together. It does not look good at all.
No. So I don't like the Xbox One case. I don't like the Xbox case, and I don't like the PlayStation 5 case. I don't like either of them. So
if I were to choose one, I think the PS5 one is better, but we're gonna get into that.
Yeah, we'll get into that. Aesthetically, I still prefer the Xbox aesthetically, but logically and consumer wise, I prefer the PS5. Like I said, we're gonna get into the Xbox one. But the PlayStation 5, it's a simple fix. You know what you do? Black case.
Black case. Clear case. PS3 case, dude.
PS3 case. Or either see-through, either crystal case, black case, gray case. You even go with a gray case if you wanted to.
Anything but blue.
Not blue.
Anything but blue.
Don't reuse the blue. It's the same blue as the PlayStation 4. The problem is there's so many clashing colors. You don't go.
It looks like a circus now that I'm looking at it.
Absolutely, it doesn't work. I like the white and black. I like it. I like the white and black. I like the cleanness of it. It's black and white, easy, done, clean. That's
bold.
Fine.
It's sharp. It sticks out.
That's
that
it. Modern.
Blue just mutes everything around it.
The blue just makes it look bad. It clashes. It's why I understand. I get what they're trying to go for. I get that the wraparound is white, just like the game, or just like the console is mostly white, with the black text, which is like the accent, and then they have the light. The inner light of the console is blue. Okay, I get it. So you're trying to follow the three colors they're using for your console. If you want blue on your case, you know what you do? You make the logo blue. Yep. Just make the little logo, the PS5 blue.
So it looks like if you have if the PS5 logo was blue, it would look like the white border has like a cutout of the logo and it's bleeding into the case. It would look like it's showing the case blue, which is cool. No, you just have this blue border. It's like you went to the Dollar Tree and you got like a photo frame for your picture, but the only one they had was a different color frame, and you're like, that'll work.
Yeah, I know. It doesn't work. And the thing is that it's such an easy change the PS5 logo from black to blue, and then make the case black. Done. You fixed it. You have a small accent that's blue, just like the console. You have the cover around it that's white, just like the console, and you have the dead center of the case black, just like the console. Just done. That fixes it. But no. We gotta go with the blue case. Blue case. So
what I'm looking forward to is third parties making like aftermarket cases, and I'm sure someone's gonna make either black PS5 cases or clear PS5 cases, and when they do, I'm gonna order just a wholesale.
I'm just gonna order a box, just a box.
Yeah, just a box. So every time I buy one, I just swap the.
Yeah, I'll go to wholesale. I'll buy 50 cases. I don't care. I'll buy 100 cases and I'll send 50 to Shemp. I don't care because man, that stuff. It just looks ugly. It's so blatantly ugly. But here's the thing. Aesthetically, the PlayStation 5 falls short. But consumer-wise, let's pass the ball back to Shemp because Xbox's aesthetically does look better. Information-wise,
I'm gonna refresh your memory. Here you go. So, oh god. Okay, so. I think Ubisoft was the first one to show this off. So this is how Series X games that are cross generation with the Xbox One are going to look. Like the PS5, it's an Xbox One box. You know where it has like the embedded Xbox One like on the case. Yeah. So get rid of the one. It just says Xbox. Nothing else. Just
Xbox. That's not confusing.
Oh, you're right. Don't worry about it. So now you think of like Halo like 5, and there's that like black tag that says console exclusive. So imagine that, but it says Xbox Series X dot Xbox One. So it's backwards compatible with the Xbox One. Okay, cool. I guess. And then there's a giant sticker that says optimized for Series X. What does any of this mean?
So here's the thing. To someone like me and you, we can yeah, that's basically it. Sorry, we just see some memes about this. Here's the thing, is that to you and I, we could make sense of this. We could. We could. We look at it, we're like, okay, we get it. It's backwards compatible with Xbox One, Xbox Series X, but the game was designed with Xbox Series X in mind. Fine. We can understand that. Now explain that to the 52-year-old mom trying to buy a game for her son or daughter.
Oh, dude, this was my biggest fear because I work at a game store and we already get this. I don't think I've told you this. We have gotten questions such as, "Hey, I know the Xbox One is backwards compatible with the 360, right?" And I was like, "Yes, ma'am. Only a couple of 360 games." And she goes, "Okay, cool. Is the 360 forward compatible with the Xbox One?" And I was like, "Ma'am, what did you just say?"
Forward compatible?
Yeah, forward compatible. I was like, "No, ma'am. That's not how that works." So the thing is, when they say that they're going to be instead of releasing a version of Far Cry 6 for the Xbox One and the Xbox Series X, what's happening is that this is going to be sold as one game, and you would pop it in your Xbox One and it would just download the Xbox One version. You pop it in the Series X, it just downloads the Series X version. So it's just one disc. So it's essentially an Xbox One game that's backwards compatible in the Series X, but you download the Series X version. You know what else did that back in the day? The Burger King game for Xbox 360.
Now, at first, I was, and here's the thing. I was all for this smart delivery stuff, and I still am.
Me too. Me too, dude.
Don't get me wrong. I am all for the smart delivery. I very much love the idea of buying one version of the game. I pop it into my one, I can play it, and then when I eventually buy the Series X, I can pop it into the Series X and get the same thing. And Xbox has been marketing that over and over and over again, right? Right? Cool. Here's where my confusion steps in. PlayStation is like, oh yeah, if you buy the PS4 version, you get a free upgrade to the PS5 version. And I'm like,
yeah, so they're two separate versions.
And I'm like, so isn't that the same thing as smart delivery?
Yeah, but they're just not gonna call it. It's just shut up.
So
shut up.
And I think I've heard it for Far Cry, and I've heard it for Assassin's Creed as well, where you buy the PS4 version and you get a free upgrade to the PS5 version. I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay. So what's the difference?
What's nothing. Now I just found something else that really gives me an aneurysm the more I look at it. So the top right, it says 4K Ultra HD, HDR, and Smart Delivery. Okay, so Smart Delivery entails that if you buy the Xbox One version, you get the Series X version. But there's no Xbox One version. It's being released physically as one version. So what's the Smart Delivery? I don't get it.
So
Am I just too stupid? Am I just too stupid?
Okay, so there's smart delivery, but they're releasing one version, and it depends on which version.
Okay. Also, the badge where it says Xbox Series X Xbox One, there's a space. Are they going to have to put Xbox Series S, Xbox Series X, Xbox One?
I don't know. It's just, Xbox Series X, okay. But there's supposed to be a Series S coming out, too.
But there's supposed to be two models.
There's supposed to be two models. And
it's just going to be an Xbox Series.
Just put the... Oh, my gosh. Like, man, and honestly, just remove the giant sticker that says optimized for Series X. Why?
Dude. I hope to God this is on the shrink wrap and not on the actual box art.
Just have it as a sticker on the shrink wrap. Why does it need to be? It's this giant, ugly, rupee colored thing that it literally looks like the green rupee that as you're playing through The Legend of Zelda and you're cutting through the bloody grass, and you find a green rupee that falls out. They just took that and super glued it on the case and said it's optimized for Series X.
What does optimized for Series X even mean?
The game
works on the Series X.
It
dude, I assume if it runs on the Series X, it's optimized for the Series X.
It's gonna run better. Duh.
Hard. No, duh. Like I don't need a sticker taking up a third of the box to tell me that it runs on it.
Shemp, listen. When you buy a 32-inch TV, and then after you finish buying that said 32-inch TV, and then you buy a 50-inch TV, do not worry, because when you plug in the 50-inch TV, it's not going to be at 32 inches with black bars on the side. It's going to fill the screen. Don't worry about it. I need to let you know about that. All right.
It's like if you bought like Spider-Man on PS4 and it said optimized for PS4. Like, I get it. It's a PS4 game. I don't need to be told twice that it's a PS4 game.
So aesthetically, yes, Xbox wins-ish. But in terms of consumer, at least when I look at a PS5 game, it says PlayStation 5. Okay, it looks ugly as sin, but I can tell it's a PlayStation 5 game because it just says PlayStation 5. That's all I need to see. I get it.
This just says Xbox. Okay, no, I just thought of something. In the store I work at, we have all of the console games separated by console. Like, that's the Super Nintendo section. That's the PS4 section. That's the Xbox One section. Yada yada yada. What are we gonna say? That's the Xbox section. Oh, you mean OG Xbox? No, like new Xbox. Oh, so Xbox One? No, Xbox Series.
Oh, this is gonna be great, man. This is going to be fantastic.
This is going to make my job so much harder.
Coding everything and then telling people. But again, like I said, here's the thing. We joke about it and we laugh about this, but this is a real thing where legitimately in the real world, people who are minorly into gaming, they don't know. And that's okay. It's understandable why they don't know. They're not they're not invested like we are. We are absolute nerds and dorks and mega fans. We compare frame rates, we compare resolution, we try to find the best experience possible. We are gaming mega dorks.
Yeah, we are the type of guys who look at each other and be like, "Hey man, how big's your SSD?" You're like, "Oh, really?"
Yeah, exactly.
You wanna get it?
Yeah, no, exactly. We've had that conversation. We literally have.
Yeah, like 2 days ago.
Exactly. But there are people who are gaming where the large majority of people that are considered themselves as gamers are not like us. They're not. They don't care what box it is as long as it plays video games that they like. That's it. They don't care about frame rate. They don't care about performance. They don't care. And that's perfectly okay. That is perfectly fine. Now try explaining how the smart delivery, the Xbox One, the Xbox Series X optimized for Xbox is to somebody who's just an entry level into this stuff. They're not
gonna get it.
They're not gonna get it.
Xbox is making everything so confusing. Like, smart delivery, but there's only one game. I don't get it. Let's end the episode with a good note with Xbox. Okay, we've been ratting on them all podcasts.
Yeah.
Listen, Xbox did something great. They actually did something consumer friendly. It's amazing. I know. I'm surprised. So. We all know about xCloud, and if you don't, xCloud is just Microsoft's streaming service to play Xbox One games through a stream, like on your phone or PC or whatever, your browser or whatever. Mm-hmm. And it was a separate service, and then you had Xbox Game Pass, which was a monthly service where you would pay and you could have access. It's like PlayStation Now, but you could download all of the games that were on there.
Yeah.
Now, Microsoft has merged the two together, so if you subscribe to Xbox Game Pass, you get xCloud for free. Yep. You no longer have to buy it, which, good Lord, opens up the user base tenfold. Yeah. Like, you don't have these two Xbox things being separated by who's buying what. No, everyone has it now, and this alone just destroyed Stadia. Stadia already killed itself, but this just put it further into the grave.
This is such a smart move by Xbox, and this is something that Xbox has been doing really well. The Game Pass concept. At first, I turned my nose up to it, and now I love it. I absolutely love it. Now, here's the thing. Think about this too. Because it's now included in Game Pass, if you get Game Pass Ultimate for $15 a month Canadian, so that's about $12 a month American, you get Xbox Gold, you get Game Pass, and now you get Xcloud for $15 a Canadian or $12 American per month. 12
Good Lord.
dollars. You get access to hundreds of games that are top quality. You have the choice of downloading it straight to your console or streaming it. You have that option for $12 per month American.
Yeah, so it's like, oh, my hard drive is filled to the brim, but I don't want to delete anything. Oh, I could just stream the game.
Yes,
cool.
Exactly.
And all these other games.
And you can try it. It's like, you're like, I don't know if I want to download 50 gigs for a game that I'm not sure I'm going to like. Because, yeah, there are games that I download. I'll download like 4 games, and I'll try 3 of them, like, yeah, nope, eat, and then just throw it off my hard drive. And then one, I'm like, okay, I'll hold on to this one, right? With xCloud, I can now just try it. I don't have to download. And if I like it, I'm like, yeah, this is cool. I like this. I want to see the better resolution. I want to see the more snappy controls to make sure that, I can then download it right to my console or play it on my web browser or play it where I'm here, play it where I'm there. So yeah, the thing is that what Stadia is doing is a nice accessory, but Stadia is using it as their main platform and they're syncing.
Yep. And it's
sorry, they sunk.
It's really good to see. Yeah, they sunk. This is really good, especially for Xbox fans and for just fans of gaming in general, because it makes it a lot easier. Like, they're making it easier to play Xbox games without an Xbox. PlayStation already does that too. So it's like, oh, I want to play Uncharted, but I don't have a PS4. Oh, I'll stream it for, again, $15 a month. So both of these companies are doing something very well. Xbox just combined both of their services together. It's like if you bought, to put it in perspective for PlayStation fans, if you bought PlayStation Plus, you would get PlayStation Now for free, or vice versa. It would be something like that. It would be really nice to see, and I think Microsoft did a very, very smart thing by doing that.
They did.
And I hope they continue to do smart things.
Yeah, I mean, Xbox is...
God.
Yeah, Xbox has always had the best online experience. Always.
Oh, yeah.
From the get-go, they're as your online, I can't remember what it is, if it's their databases and stuff, whatever it is, the technology that they're using for their online play and for their online services and stuff, it has always been supremo primo. It always has been. And that they know that, and the fact that they're jumping on, like, the Xbox Game Pass or the Xbox Ultimate was such a great idea by them. And I'm shocked that Sony hasn't hopped on that same board. I mean, imagine getting PlayStation Plus, which is the gold, and PlayStation Now for dirt cheap price. I mean, I don't think Sony would ever do that, knowing their mentality as a business. But if they ever did that, oh man, it would open up the doors for a lot more people. Like, I have never tried PlayStation Now, but I would like to just to have the option. Yeah, and I have both, and to be honest, I think the library over on Xbox is just a little bit better, just a little bit. Other than the PlayStation exclusives, which is obviously a big selling point, though. If you don't look at first party exclusives, the PlayStation or Xbox Game Pass is better, because you can download games with PlayStation Now. You can, but the library in terms of second and third party is better over on Xbox. And also, I can play games on their PC versions on my PC, which there is the PC Game Pass. Yeah, the PC Game Pass. That's what it comes with that too. So that's how I played Ori and the Will of the Wisps. I didn't even buy the game. You just got it. I was like, oh, okay, I have Xbox. I got Xbox Ultimate. Okay, I play it. Done. That's it. I played it. Okay, next game. Cool, done. And I streamed it too. I was able to stream it, and no lag, no issues, no problems. There was like a day one patch, came out, fixed a few things, and that was it. And it was great. Had my experience with Xbox Game Pass is amazing, and if Xbox goes to games as a service, that just might be the direction. That just might be it.
Yeah, I mean, they got the leg up, man. They're really focusing on it, and it really is showing.
Yeah, so it's two different takes in the gaming industry, but if they were to bow out of the console, then that means that there would be a vacuum that someone would have to fill, and my curiosity looks at different studios and stuff like that. Like people have been saying for years that Apple has been trying to find a way to nuzzle their way into the gaming industry. I don't know if they'll do it. I don't think people right now Apple would be consumer friendly for gaming.
No.
It doesn't make sense right now. Maybe not Apple, but maybe another studio. Maybe there's a studio out there developing a game or coming up with a console idea that is just no name out of the blue. They come out, people think it's the Ouya, and it's the next Nintendo 6, not Nintendo 6, next PlayStation 1, where it's like out of the blue, out of nowhere, a tech company, Samsung comes out with their own game console. You never know. They could.
I mean, they could. Yeah.
They have the hard drives already. They have the hard drives, man. They're
already manufacturing most of the parts. Because we fix consoles, and most of the parts are like, oh, what was here? This is manufactured by Samsung. Okay, cool. We'll buy that and pop it in.
Yeah, exactly. And so why not, right? I mean, Samsung could pop up and say, hey, we're making a console. And I mean, they already sponsor esports teams. They already sponsor all these things. They're already in the gaming industry. Why not? You know what? They could make consoles and start off with third parties, undercut everybody because they already own the components themselves, right? They own the components. So that's what I have to say about that.
Yeah, same here. And hopefully this mentality is carried forward later next generation, because they're already messing up the beginning. But thank you guys so much for tuning in for episode 31 of Wumpa Time. It really means a lot to us. If you are listening on YouTube and you want us on the go, we are on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcast, SoundCloud, all the other stuff. If you want to listen to each episode live, please subscribe to Canadian Guy A's channel. Every episode goes live every Saturday morning, and you can pop in the chat as it premieres on YouTube and talk with everyone else as they listen to us scream about stupid things.
Yes.
If you want to keep in touch with us, we do have Twitters. It's at Canadian Guy A with the extra H because he is special. And then we have at Shemp Official for me. If you want the links to everything, you can go to our link tree. It's linktr.ee/Wumpatime. And we'll see you next week. Is there anything else you want to say?
Carrier pigeons should be able to cross the border soon, hopefully.
Oh, thank God, dude. That's what I've been
We've been
thinking
missing
the past couple months. Yeah, please. If you have any carrier pigeons, send them our way.
Yeah. Thank you so much for listening, guys, and we'll see you guys next week.